Hi everyone, I'm Brett McRae with your farm and ranch news from the Northern Ag Network. Cattle futures are lower than they were a month ago, but still at historically high price levels. At the Bighorn Classic video sale in Sheridan last week, Superior Livestock auctioneer and Representative Kyle Shobe said buyers are still competing for those cattle.
There's still a lot of activity from the buyers, and that tells me they've got pen space, they've got the optimism this thing's going to hold together enough. Maybe they're working on a break even, although I think our cash is way ahead of what some of these break evens are, especially on these heavier cattle that we're selling today in the yearling sector. But I think it shows some optimism moving forward and resiliency that we tend to see from these feeders, and it's great to continue to see that.
Superior Livestock Rep Clint Berry told me that prices may be lower right now than recent all-time highs, but still indicative of strength in the market.
The cattle are sure trading a little lower, but you know, if you put it in perspective and you forget about the last 60, 90 days, here we are in the third week of August, and you forget about seeing some of them numbers that were record highs in our lifetime, we're still selling cattle for a tremendous amount of money. And if you put it in perspective, minus that time period, we're selling cattle as high as we've ever sold them.
Cash prices for the spring calves in Superior's sale were about $10 to $15 softer than last month, but still $15 ahead of where we were last year at this time. The Northern Ag Network returns in 1 hour.
I wanted to put up a fence to protect my tomato plants. So I grabbed this, and then I did this. But instead of yielding a big crop, I hit a utility line and had to pay $1,200 in repairs. I didn't just lose my pride and joy. I could no longer afford the new stovetop I'd been saving up for. Next time, I'm going to make my free call to 811 before I dig.
Learn from Curry and hundreds of others. Call 811 before you dig.
Hi everyone, Brett McRae back with more ag news and your markets. A dispute between Canadian railroads and labor unions took its first steps towards a resolution when the government intervened last week. A labor strike for the two largest Canadian railroads would have significant consequences for American agriculture. 3/4 of the products exported from the country to the U.S. move by rail. That includes grain, oilseeds, and fertilizer that American farmers need. DTN reports that those Canadian railroads handle 40,000 carloads of freight every day. Late last week, the Canadian government ordered railroads and unions into arbitration to help resolve the labor dispute. Cash cattle trade down $3 last week, averaging about $186 for live deals and $294 on the dress basis. And of the Montana-Wyoming cattle from Superior Livestock's Bighorn Classic, heavy 5-weight steers sold from $306 to $336, and the light 6 weights from $297 to $318. At the sheep yards in Newell, 70 to 79 pound lambs from $182 to $216, 80 to 89 pound lambs from $173 to $193. Those prices sharply lower than the previous sale. Wheat futures sank lower to end the week in both Thursday and Friday trade. Pressure came from overall fund selling, the Canadian rail strike, and weakness in EU and Russian prices. Exports continue to be a bright spot for wheat markets, indicating the strength of demand for U.S. product. Thanks for tuning in to your Ag Report. I'm Brett McRae, Northern Ag Network.